Hey Mets fans, Brian here, Mets Mayhem. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of recap video. We have the Mets playing the Phillies in Game 2 of a 3-game series at Citi Field. In Game 1, the Mets won 5-4. In Game 2, we have Griffin Canning going up against Christopher Sanchez. And we're just going to jump right into the takeaways for this game. Griffin Canning coming off his best start of the season. Facing the St. Louis Cardinals, he went 6 runs, gave up 1 run. The Phillies and the Cardinals, they're not the same. No disrespect to the Cardinals, but the Phillies lineup is a little bit of a different animal. They're much more potent. I wasn't expecting Canning to get around 3 times in the lineup in this game. I was expecting him to pretty much give us what he did. He probably gave us a little bit more than I expected. Canning went 5 innings. He gave up only 1 run on 7 hits. He only walked 1 and he struck out 5. I think Mendoza pulled him at the perfect time. He got into trouble in the 2nd inning. Could have been much worse. The Mets had a 1-0 lead. The Phillies came back and tied the game. They had runners in the 2nd and 3rd. Ground ball hit to Vientos from, I believe, Turner. And Vientos threw over to Alonso at first. So 1 hopper. Alonso stretched, picked it, kept his toe on the bag, got the out. Had Alonso not been able to come up with that ball, 1 run is going to score for sure, possibly 2. Now the Phillies have a crooked number on the board. This game changed from there on out. Not sure. But thankfully, Alonso was able to save Vientos that error, keep the game at 1-1. Lindor comes, and then he hits a base hit down the right field line. We had Acuna at 3rd, Azocar at 1st. Azocar kind of took off a little bit early. Sanchez picked him off. Acuna broke for home. So while getting Azocar in the rundown, Harper throws to Stott. Stott sees Acuna coming home. Looks to 3rd. Acuna goes back. He fires to 3rd base, and he gets him out before he can get back to the bag. So we kind of ran ourselves out of the inning a little bit right there. Azocar does get to 2nd base on that as a trailing runner. It's the least he can do. And then Lindor hits the ground ball to the right field line, scores Azocar, and Mets take the lead. So the Mets had a 1-0 lead. The game got tied. It could have went the Phillies' way. Thankfully, it didn't. Good defense by Alonso. And then Lindor came right back, and he put us back on the top. And at that point on, 2-1 lead, we made it 5-1, and we just kept coasting. So Canning went 5 innings. I think the 1 walk is key. He could have gotten in much more trouble than he did. 2nd inning, got out of it. 5th inning, he got out of it as well. It was time to pull him. We went to the bullpen. Brazoban came on, and he kind of got in a little bit of trouble himself, facing the top of the order. He walked Kepler to lead off. Then he got a double play. Then a base hit. Then he got an out. So he kind of danced around danger there and got out of the 6th inning. Handed the ball off to Minter. Minter did fantastic. Nice scoreless inning. Gave the ball to Stanek. Stanek walked a couple of batters. No run scored, though. Was able to get out of the 8th. And then we went to Budo in the 9th, and he gave us an inning. And, as Budo has done so far this season, when he has a clean inning, he's pitching much better. He's not doing as well when he's facing batters with inherited runners on the bases. So Mets win that game. Lindor, fantastic again. Lindor was 3 for 4, I believe. 3 for 5. He was 3 for 5. His average is over 300 now. I mean, what more can we say about him? We're going to keep singing his praises every game when he deserves it. And he deserves it. So, Alonso's 2 for 4. Vientos got a big hit. He drove in the first run for double in the 1st inning. Torrens got a big hit. Drove in 2 runs later in the game. And Azocar, who, might not be up here very long, playing against the lefty, went 2 for 4 today. So he contributed. So, all in all, it's a good game. The Mets now have a 6-game winning streak. We're 17-7. We dropped the Phillies to 13-11. 4-game lead on the Phillies. Very important game 2, being that we already took the first game. So that gives us the series win regardless. Game 3 is going to be Wednesday afternoon, facing Zach Wheeler. So, it's going to be a very interesting game for us. I'd much rather be up 2-0 facing Wheeler than 1-1 and giving the Phillies the advantage and winning the series. And for the Mets is David Peterson. And David Peterson's kind of... his last two outings, for me, left a lot to be desired. I think he has some things to clean up. And hopefully this is the outing that he does that. So David Peterson going up. He's 1-1, 3.27 ERA. Facing Zach Wheeler, 2-1, 3.73 ERA. So the Mets are going for the sweep, hopefully for 7 in a row. So the Mets have the best record in baseball. I'll be back to talk after this game, give a recap, provide any other noteworthy Mets news. But until then, Mets fans, let's go Mets.